The Twilight Saga was indeed quite the saga. To call the series a global phenomenon feels like an understatement. But of course, with that level of fame often comes scandal, and the cast of Twilight certainly wasn't immune. Here are the dark secrets of the movie's cast. Kiowa Gordon ran around with Jacob Black's Wolfpack as Embry Call in the Twilight Saga, but his career hit a snag in August 2011. According to CBS News, Gordon was arrested in Arizona on an outstanding warrant after missing his court date following an arrest in February 2010. According to TMZ, Gordon had been pulled over for a routine registration check, but later pleaded guilty to possession and use of drug paraphernalia and giving liquor to a minor. Gordon wasn't the only member of the cast to have a run-in with the law, but he thankfully seems to have bounced back. Since the saga's conclusion, the actor has gone on to star in films like Castle in the Ground and The Lesser Blessed, as well as the CW's Roswell, New Mexico. By the time Breaking Dawn Part 2 hit theaters in November 2012, it was clear that the franchise's leading trio had tired of their roles.
Do you have any advice for anyone that's going to be suffering from withdrawal symptoms?
But it seems that even author Stephenie Meyer had had enough of the vampire romance by then as well. She told Variety in 2013, "I get further away every day. I am so over it. For me, it's not a happy place to be." She took it one step further, vowing to never write about Bella, Edward, and Jacob unless it was, quote, 3 paragraphs on my blog saying which of the characters died. Wow. Considering she's revisited the Twilight Saga multiple times since her above comments, it seems as though Meyer has changed her tune. In 2020, she released Midnight Sun, a retelling of Twilight from Edward's perspective, and she told fans at an online Books A Million event that she has plans for, quote, 2 more books in that world. While that doesn't necessarily mean we'll see our favorite vampires and werewolves back on the big screen, we can always hope. Director Catherine Hardwicke deserves a lot of credit for helming the first Twilight film, a blockbuster shot on an indie shoestring budget that launched a global franchise. Still, a decade after its release, Hardwicke has some hard feelings about how the series went on without her. While Hardwicke told Vanity Fair that she turned down shooting 2009's New Moon as it would, quote, require too tight of a turnaround, she was sad to see the female-centered and female-written series take a decidedly male turn. Not only were there 4 more Twilight films, but the series paved the way for other young adult adaptations like The Hunger Games and the Divergent series, all of which were directed by men. Hardwicke told the outlet in 2018, "That was a heartbreak for me. There are other badass women out there that could have done those." It goes on and on. They're stories written by women about women and given to male directors. Although Twihards undoubtedly adored each and every member of the Twilight cast, the feeling wasn't always mutual.
To wrap my head around it, I'm like, I don't know what the magic potion that Stephenie Meyer put in there.
In 2011, Taylor Lautner told Fox News that he understandably felt, quote, freaked out when an older woman desperately tried to remove her pants for his autograph. According to series co-star Elizabeth Reeser, Taylor was just 16 and still a boy when much older ladies would be asking me about his body. It was just really inappropriate. Robert Pattinson was also a bit thrown by the age of fans, telling Germany's Interview magazine in 2013, "The real odd thing about this Twilight target group is that they aren't really teenagers. Most of them are older." Pattinson further told the outlet that he didn't quite understand why they were so attached to the series in the first place, saying, "Sometimes I ask myself what these masses of people do the whole day. They sit in front of their computers and comment on anything having even remotely to do with Twilight." Undoubtedly, the biggest celebrity news story to come out of the Twilight Saga was the demise of the relationship between stars Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson. At first, it was a Hollywood fairy tale. The lion had fallen in love with his lamb co-star off-screen. Their mysterious media-shy fling began to unravel in July 2012 after Us Weekly published photos of Stewart with her married Snow White and the Huntsman director Rupert Sanders. The photo bombshell dominated the tabloids, forcing Stewart to issue a public apology to Pattinson for cheating. The couple tried to weather the storm, but wound up splitting for good in 2013. For what it's worth, Stewart later called her breakup from Pattinson, quote, incredibly painful, but described him as the best in a 2019 interview on The Howard Stern Show.
I was super in love with my high school boyfriend, super in love with him. But me and Rob were like a little older, and it was just likegung.
But Stewart noted, I've actually never been allowed to just say what happened. I was so self-conscious about seeming like an attention seeker. Pattinson ultimately took it in stride himself, telling Esquire in 2014, "It happens, you know? It's just young people. It's normal. And honestly, who gives a Fair enough." Rochelle Lefebvre played the villainous vampire Victoria in both Twilight and New Moon. However, much to fan horror and confusion, the studio went in a different direction for Eclipse and Breaking Dawn Parts 1 and 2, replacing Lefebvre with another Hollywood redhead, actress Bryce Dallas Howard. Fans were shocked at the change and cruelty toward Lefebvre, who was equally surprised, telling E! in a statement that she was, quote, stunned by the decision and had turned down other work in order to fulfill her commitment to complete the Twilight series. According to an E! insider, Lefebvre had reportedly secured a pay raise for Eclipse, so when a potential scheduling conflict came up, the studio might have seen an opportunity to, quote, save a lot of money by recasting her.
The circumstances around it had nothing to do with us. The way the business is, there's this notion that it's competitive, and that's actually not the case at all.
Regardless, Lefebvre maintained she was, quote, deeply hurt by the decision. When Twilight director Catherine Hardwicke came forward to say that the studio had always wanted Howard for the role and cast Lefebvre when Howard wasn't available, it only added insult to injury. Robert Pattinson may have portrayed the mind-reading vampire Edward Cullen in the Twilight Saga, but he couldn't quite read the room when it came to his career for a while. In May 2017, Pattinson revealed to the New York Times that his rebellious behavior on the set of the first Twilight movie almost got him fired until his agents flew in to, quote, straighten him out. He told the outlet, "I didn't have to kiss anybody's the entire time. I don't think I did anyway." However, Pattinson said he now looks back on the Twilight movies as, quote, an amazing luxury, adding, "It was amazing luck as well to just have fallen into it with the group of people I worked with on it." The Twilight Saga's success didn't just affect the actors who played Edward, Bella, and Jacob. The Twihards went crazy for every member of the Cullen clan, including Ashley Greene, who portrayed the adorably quirky sister Alice from the series premiere onward. The actress told Allure in 2011, "All of us essentially were unknown, so everyone kind of went through this crazy whirlwind together."
We're all young and having fun, and so we all hung out.
That kind of fame comes with its downsides, like in 2009 when compromising photos of Greene were leaked online. Greene and her family seemed to keep a good sense of humor about it, as the actress told the magazine, "One of my family members said to me, 'Ashley, everyone does it. You're just famous.'" Still, the Pan Am star made it clear that a boundary had been crossed. Greene lawyered up and let everyone know through a statement from her attorney that she intended to sue anyone who posted the photos or shared them online. Bronson Palaszczuk, who played a member of Jacob's Wolfpack, had a public relations nightmare on his hands after exhibiting some very bad behavior at LAX in December 2012. According to TMZ, the Twilight star was reportedly first kicked off a plane after he was deemed too intoxicated to fly by officers. He was then told to wait for another flight, during which he allegedly began urinating by the gate. Cops returned to the scene and arrested him for public intoxication. After the incident, TMZ discovered another dark secret in Palaszczuk's closet. Just 1 week prior, he had been arrested for felony methamphetamine and cocaine possession at a bar. Palaszczuk was later sentenced to 2 years probation for the peeing incident. It seems the mishap didn't hold him back for too long, though. Palaszczuk made his return to film with 2015's Fishing Naked and has nabbed additional big screen roles since. In March 2013, the West Hollywood, California condo of Ashley Greene was destroyed in a fire that killed one of her 2 dogs. According to TMZ, the fire, which began while the Twilight star, her boyfriend, and brother were sleeping, was initially believed to have been started by a candle. As if that wasn't tragic enough, the story took a dark twist in October 2014 when the building's manager alleged that a glass crack pipe had been found inside Greene's apartment after the fire had occurred. No evidence of a crack pipe was discovered. However, Greene still wound up having to settle a lawsuit filed by the building's doorman, which claimed he had been hurt, quote, while running through the smoke-filled hallways, yelling for residents to flee. After a years-long battle, Greene finally settled for an undisclosed amount in 2016, per TMZ. Nikki Reed, who portrayed the gorgeous Rosalie Cullen, rose to fame in 2003 when she and eventual Twilight director Catherine Hardwicke co-wrote the movie 13 based on Reed's tumultuous upbringing. The risque coming-of-age film didn't shy away from some pretty heavy themes. While 13 was critically acclaimed, Reed later admitted she, quote, wasn't ready for fame at age 15 and that the film had hindered her relationship with her parents. She told Zoe magazine in 2012, "It was from one kid's perspective and not a well-rounded one. You get older and it's like, how dare I portray my father as being a totally vacant, careless schmuck."
I think about what my parents must have gone through, and I just have to say, I really applaud them.
She also appears to have a good relationship with her mother, which for anyone who saw 13 will come as a sigh of relief. Reed's relationship with her Twilight castmates, however, not as great. The actress told 17 in 2011, "In the beginning, it was innocent and fun, and then success comes along and changes the dynamic. We're not all best friends, and we're not all going to hang out together after the final movie is done." Despite having high-profile romances with the likes of Taylor Swift and Lily Collins, Taylor Lautner often battled gay rumors in real life. Speculation reached a fever pitch in 2014 when the Twilight star was photographed at a West Hollywood gay bar, sending the world of social media into a speculation frenzy. Funnily enough, it was a gay underwear model who officially put the rumors to rest shortly after. After sharing his photo with Lautner at the bar, Murray Swanby jokingly wrote, "If Taylor Lautner was coming out, I would have taken him home Thursday night." As for the abduction star, it seems his shirtless werewolf days are far behind him. These days, he leads a fairly low-profile life and has been in a relationship with Tay Dome, a nurse, since 2018, according to the Daily Mail. Check out one of our newest videos right here, plus even more Nicki Swift videos about your favorite behind-the-scenes drama are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.